Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition Quirks video where we talk about bugs, farms, tutorials, and other game testing mechanics. And in today's particular video of Bedrock Quirks, we're going to be taking a look at some of the different kinds of chicken cookers. Now for today's video, I have set up 5 different chicken cooker designs, some compact more than others, some not so compact, some resource friendly, some resource heavy. So we are going to go over some of the basic designs and kind of the basic mechanics of how these work and operate, so this way maybe you can try and come up with either your own design or maybe even use one of the ones that we have shown here today. So first things first, when you guys are running around your world and you're looking for animals and you kind of need to get some food, when you go to kill them, all you do is you get the regular and raw meat. However, if you're running around and you just so happen to have a fire aspect sword and you kill the animal, they will not just drop raw meat. You will actually get the cooked meat of that version of the animal. And of course, the same thing applies to a bow with a flame on it. You will also get the cooked version of the meat instead of just the raw version of that meat. And then the same can be even applied when using lava, which is what we are going to be using to make the chicken cookers that we have here shown today. Now, all of these chicken cookers do have a similar kind of build to them, and what I'm doing right here right now is kind of basically just that. Now, there's a reason that they have them designed in this particular fashion and why we have like a half slab right here in front of a dispenser. And the reason being is because when you use a dispenser to spit out a chicken egg, what it does is it actually comes and pops out onto this half slab, and then when it hatches a chicken, the chicken will actually stand in this half a block tall area. And then of course when the chicken grows up, it's going to grow up, and then its head basically will be in the second block up, which is where we're going to be putting our lava bucket. And that is the basics for every single chicken cooker that we have down here at the bottom, the basic designs for it. But as you guys know, there is no redstone on this thing, and that is where the difference is on each particular design. Although for the most part, they all pretty much do the same thing. It just depends on your personal preference, the materials that you have available, and which one you like most. Now, I wish I could say that all of these designs are my original ideas and that nobody else has ever thought of them before because I was the only one, but that's not necessarily true, because the game mechanics for how these work, well, pretty much are all the same, like I said, across the board. And the redstone, well, like I said, they all accomplish the same thing, just in a different way. Now with this first design, you can see it uses one comparator, uses one redstone torch, uses a hopper, and of course, basically some of the simple resources that you can get early game. And it also uses a redstone torch burnout clock. What that basically means is we have a redstone torch right here that powers this block up on the top, which then powers this piece of redstone dust, then powers that block, and then powers the torch again, and it basically does this continuous loop of redstone powering in a circle, which is what we call a burnout clock. And then when this redstone torch kind of lights up, it lights up this piece of redstone right here, which then lights up or powers this block right next to the dispenser, and then that dispenser will fire with each increment or each flashing light, which whenever we get those chicken eggs to drop through this hopper into this dispenser, it will spit the eggs out and then give us a baby chicken, just like the one that we have right in here. So not too complex of a design and very easy to make. Then there is my personal favorite chicken cooker design, which utilizes the redstone torch piston bug thing. I'm not really sure what to call it. But it's another type of burnout clock system. So what happens is this redstone torch will power this piece of redstone. This piece of redstone will power that block, which will power this piston. However, this piston cannot be pushed because of the block of obsidian that is sitting right here in front. So then basically it creates another type of redstone torch clock, which of course, whenever you go to update that piece of redstone right there, which we're going to use the comparator to do so, the same as in our other redstone burnout clock, it will update this torch, which will then spit out baby chickens just like the other one right here on top of those half slabs, which, like I said, is kind of my personal favorite just because it does use a little bit more on the resources, but because it is really compact and kind of, you know, just smaller than all of the other ones. Which of course is not to say that the next design is not compact. It is actually very slender, and it actually has less clicking noises than the other ones over here. You probably wouldn't even hear this one as nearly as often as those ones because those ones click so many times. This one was actually designed by Mr. Rogue Fox, who, if you guys did not know, is a pretty cool redstone builder, and he's got some really nice contraptions on his channel, so you guys should definitely check it out. Link is going to be in the iCard above. So as I was saying, with this particular design, it is very simple and a lot less noisy. So every time an egg passes through this hopper, it gets detected by the comparator, which the comparator block change gets detected by the observer. As you guys can see right there, we actually had a couple clicks and barely even noticeable. And I think we even got a cooked chicken. And with this particular design, unlike the first two, it doesn't use any redstone bug mechanics. So if you want to maybe keep this in your world without having to try to fix it later on, try and use this one. Although the developers have said they aren't going to be fixing any of these redstone bugs that we have in Bedrock Edition, that these are going to be considered now features of the game. Now, if you guys want something that is completely noiseless and not using any redstone type bug features, mechanics in the game, definitely go with this design, because this design is probably the most quietest. However, it is not the most compact, I can tell you that for sure. Because what it utilizes is every time a chicken egg passes through this item hopper, the comparator lights up this redstone right here, which then powers this block right here, which powers this repeater, which goes into this block and then powers the dispenser. I know some of you guys are like, TNC, you totally just lost me, but don't worry about it, because the main point of this one is that it is quiet. Well, at least in comparison to how loud the chickens can be. Now, this is the design that I have made so that way I can not just accomplish the quietness, but so that way I can try and accomplish gathering some eggs on top of my chickens and my feathers. Now, as you guys can see, it doesn't gather too many eggs, because how it's going to gather eggs is if there is more than one chicken that lays an egg at a time, one of the eggs will actually get dispensed in the dispenser, and the second egg will actually get pulled out by the hopper and get thrown into the chest with the other things, just in case you ever decide that you ever want some cake. And for our fifth and final design that uses a lot more resources but zero redstone dust is this one right over here. Basically, instead of having everything detected from the hopper, we want to make sure that the dispenser doesn't ever get backed up. So we get the comparator signal from the dispenser, which powers this block right here, which then powers the sticky piston right here and pushes the observer in front of the other observer, which creates an observer clock. Very simple, but a lot more resource heavy, and does the same thing as all the other ones over here, for the exception of number 4 that collects eggs also. Now, there are a lot more different designs out there on YouTube, some bigger, some smaller. Well, I haven't quite seen any smaller, to be honest. But hey, at least you guys know and understand how some of the mechanics work and why we've built these the way that we've built them, and hopefully in you guys' survival world you can build your own and kind of come up maybe even with your own design. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you guys watching today's video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you look for that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Then, if you like the video, make sure you go over to the thumbs up and ninja smash that like button. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just go to say I will catch you guys all on the flip side.